Hello and welcome or welcome back to my YouTube. It's definitely been a while. This is exciting. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Hannah. I consider myself a makeup artist, but I am not professionally trained and I don't have a license. I just do my own makeup. But I've had a lot of requests to start my YouTube channel again, so here we are. I just think it would be fun to be more myself this time. I noticed last time watching my old videos, I was very stale. I was like a Taco Bell corn chip, but we're back here. Appointments. I rolled out of bed this morning. I've got some bed head, as you can see. It's also, my hair is completely gone. It was a choice. I'm happier for it. It does look pretty atrocious. I'm filming with my phone, so we're working with what we got. Let me cut to us doing our makeup together. I think it would be fun. So I'm at my sister's house. There's only one light source in this whole house, and it's a singular lamp across the room. So that's why you're at an angle right now. I look like garbage fire. I understand, but we're gonna go from this to something half decent enough to go to PetSmart. So we're gonna be starting off with our Milani eye base. This just makes the eyelids tacky enough for eyeshadow. I used to use concealer, but I just made the transition. So just smear it all over your eyeball. You want to make sure that it's even so that you don't get any patchiness, and just do the best that you can with it. You know, makeup's about having fun, so have fun with it. So I'm just gonna blend that in a little bit with a clean, fluffy brush. This is an e.l.f. fluffy eye blender, very classic, very cheap. And just go in and blend everything. I'm gonna go into the Birds of Paradise palette by Revolution.
My ears are blue!
And I'm gonna take that white shade down there called Cockatoo. And I'm just blending this into the eyebrow right now. So that highlights the brow bone later on, and it also makes the transition from my transition area a little bit more flawless. I think we'll do green and yellow today. Maybe just green. Yeah, we'll do green. So I'm gonna go in with the next shade called Budgie. It's that light green right over here.
You want a different brush?
Taking that same fluffy brush, I'm tapping off the excess, that way it doesn't end up patchy, and I'm going straight into the transition area with that. You can't see anything with this lighting, but trust the process, it's there. I go in with no plan every single day when I do my makeup, and it comes out how it wants to come out. Doing the same on the other eye, and we'll take pictures outside too. I'll post them up on here so you guys can see what that looks like. I'm also going to be blending that into the nose a little bit to kind of tie everything together and give me a slight nose contour. Even though it's green, it'll work, trust me. Or don't.
Drag look.
It always looks like I do drag makeup. I always look like I do drag makeup. Just FYI, I look like a drag queen. I'm not. This is just how I look. I'm a drag queen. No, honestly, growing up, my favorite Disney villain was Ursula, so that's probably where I get it from.
He's that guy.
And then we don't want to forget to go in on those edges and just blend everything together. You know, even though we look like a drag queen, we want it to be blended, okay? That's the deal. Next, I'm going into the shade Jungle, which is the second darkest green shade and the only other green shade in this palette. And just deepening things up a little bit. So with this, I'm gonna go more on the outer corner because we're slightly contouring the eyes.
Donna, how about you tell them your name?
They already know my name, honey. For those of you that don't, I've already filmed my intro. For those of you that don't, my name is Hannah. I call myself a makeup artist. But I don't have any professional training or a license. I just do my makeup. That's it. That's the whole intro. That's who I am.
Is it though? I really feel like this is like a Kardashian moment where you're like Kim and I'm Courtney over here. Like,
You are Courtney.
she's not here, so it's fine.
Actually, I'm more like Chloe.
No.
My diamond earrings. There's people starving Kim. Okay, so starting on that outer corner, and I am angling everything up, you know,
She's getting
To
a head
lift-
start on the wrinkles.
yeah, I'm lifting my face, basically. That's exactly what we're doing, and I'm blending it up into that other shadow that you can't see because of this lighting. Probably gonna end up deleting this whole video. And then working my way. So I have very hooded eyes, so I have to fake it or make it with a crease. So I make my own crease. So as you can see, when I open my eyes, there's a natural crease going right there. I don't want it there, because then you can't see it. So I add it above my natural crease. That way you can actually see it when my eyes are still open, and it creates the kind of fox eye look. And I'm just adding more gradually in small proportions, because you don't want it to be patchy. Like I said earlier, you're a drag queen, but you don't want it to be patchy, you want it to be blended. Okay, now that I look like Miley Cyrus, I turned my flash on so that you can see a little bit. So I added ever so slightly a little bit of yellow to this area right here, just to kind of blend everything together, because it was just a kind of harsh green. So I'm gonna do the same on the other shot. Man, I'm an English major and I can't even speak. So see, I'm just adding it into my nose bridge right here and blending it into my eyeshadow.
Wait, are you still in school?
No.
Not at the moment.
No.
Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do for a shimmer is I'm gonna take this gold shade here called Fiesta. It is a cream eyeshadow. It's a cream eyeshadow, so I have to set it with a shimmer later on. However, I have this palette that my boyfriend, I almost said Beyonce, gave me. Wouldn't that be something? It's this shimmery palette right here, and I'm gonna have to set it with that gold shade. The gold shade in question.
More like Jay-Z.
The gold shade in question, it's either gonna be Gimme or Zenith right here. So let's start off with getting that cream eyeshadow first, and then we'll go ahead and pick which shimmer we want on top of that. So I'm adding this just to the inner parts of my eyelid, I don't want to take it all the way out to the outer corner because that's where we want depth, whereas we want the lightness on the inside of our eye because I want to look like a doe. Doe, dear,
No.
dear, dear. Doing the same on the other eye, and yes, I use my fingers, but only for eyeshadow because I hate touching makeup. I just think it feels disgusting. I'm too broke apparently for background music, so my sister is singing. So. But this is the look so far, so I know it's still tragic, but we're gonna go ahead and set it with that shimmery shade. I'm gonna get demonetized. So I think we'll go in with
We need a little bit more of this, okay?
the shade Gimme, which is that old one in the middle. So I'm taking a separate finger. She's filming me, okay? You're violating my rights. I feel very attacked right now.
Okay, Karen. Karen with a Y.
And then I'm setting that cream shadow. You just want to take it bit by bit. You don't want to get like a heavy glob of shimmer on. And then I'm just blending that into the green that we already had.
Little thing.
For what?
Yeah.
For your eyebrows?
Yeah.
You know, my boyfriend's favorite football team is the Green Bay Packers, so I guess this look kind of fits with that.
always let me go.
I was gonna do red lipstick today, but I don't think that's in the cards anymore.
Why?
Cause I ain't trying to look like Mrs. Grinch. Christmas is over. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do for the eyes right now. So we're gonna set aside the eyeshadow palettes, except for, of course, my Birds of Paradise palette, which I'm using as a mirror at the moment. And we're gonna start the face. So I'm gonna stop the video right here so that I can get my face stuff for you guys. Okay, so I'm going in with my e.l.f. Mint Melt face primer. It's very sticky and kind of gross feeling. Just rub it in. Get it all over your face.
Why did you put PS5 on?
I didn't. I'm literally not even touching it. It was the ghost. Okay, now that everything is blended in, I'm gonna go in with my L.A Girl Pro Concealer. It's a peach concealer, so you put this on your under eye bags and it makes them disappear. Because of the color theory, this is the opposite, or at least an opposite enough color to the purple that's under your eyes, so it color corrects them. Put that back in my bag. Now I'm gonna take a beauty sponge. It looks dirty. I did clean it.
This is my color.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna spray it with the NYX Bear With Me setting. I'm gonna dab off the excess spray onto my palm. And I'm gonna take that sponge now to blend out the concealer that we placed under our eyes. And you basically just want to keep it in the area that is purple under your eyes. You don't want to take it down onto your cheeks. So now I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Acid Serum. I don't think it's focusing. There we go. I'm in the shades 2 through 3. So since this is a serum, it is a lot lighter and a lot thinner than an actual foundation would be. However, it does give me just enough coverage that I don't feel like a troll under a bridge. So, just shake it up first. It doesn't say to do that, but I just do it since it's a serum. And it is a dropper. You're not supposed to touch this to your face, but it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. I just put it all over my face. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush. It looks disgusting, don't mind it. And you just go in and blend it all out. If you don't know what blending is, it's when you swish or swirl or buff or pat your makeup so that it doesn't have harsh lines. So I do have a lot of redness on my cheeks and nose. I look like a Christmas elf, to be completely honest, so we're just blending that all away.
It's okay now.
Thank you, honey. And while I'm blending out that foundation, I'm just fixing the line to my eyeshadow, because the eyeshadow is the one thing that I do want to have. I don't want it to have a harsh line up here where it's blended. I want it to have a harsh line to create a faux eyeliner. That way I don't have to use as much later on.
Yep, this is it. This is the look.
I love my mom.
I'm also going to blend some of that down my neck. Since it is a serum, it's a little more versatile and I don't have to blend it down my neck, but if I was using a normal foundation, I would. I'm just too lazy for that today, so ignore that. And then taking that same sponge from earlier, I got this from Five Below, so it doesn't have a name, and just patting off that extra setting spray once again. And then I'm gonna pat all around my face to blend out this foundation serum and just kind of help set it into my skin so it looks more natural. I do really like this foundation serum because it does feel natural, it feels very refreshing, and it lasts a heck of a long time, to be completely honest. I run around all the time at work and I'm sweating like the whole time, and after a 12-hour shift my makeup is still there, so I'd say I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair and Warm. I'm not very tan this winter. I am getting there though because I've been surfing a little bit more. So I'm just gonna add a small amount there and a small amount there. Since we already color corrected our under eyes, I don't need that much concealer under my eyes anymore. So I'm just gonna add the concealer to the places where I want to highlight and pronounce a little bit. I'm gonna add a tiny amount onto my nose and onto my lip, and just a smidgen onto my 5 head. It's actually a billboard, excuse you. And taking
This is just how we bond, okay? We're not actually being mean, I swear.
We are being mean, but regardless. Just patting in that concealer now.
Yep, this is good.
Poppin'.
This is Amy.
And I like to climb around it all.
I'm sure this video is invigorating. Now it's time to set the face. So let me stop the video here so I can get your hand out of the way. So I can get some powder set aside because it's kind of hard to do, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my powder ready and set aside, so I'm using the Revolution Translucent Powder. I'm gonna take this face tapered brush. It doesn't have a name other than that. And I'm just gonna pick up some of that powder, use my finger to tap some of it off, and I'm gonna set my under eyes. And I'm patting, not swiping. If you swipe, you can disturb the makeup that's underneath. And I'm basically just setting the places that I have concealer. and where I crease. So I have oily skin, however right now it is quite a bit dehydrated. So I'm just gonna set the areas where I really need it. So this part of your face is called your T-zone. It's generally where people get the most oily. It's definitely where I get oily, but my whole face gets oily, so. I'm setting my eyebrows as well. Even though we haven't done that yet, it'll create a little bit of a base for me to draw them on in a second. And I'm also gonna get my cheeks because my cheeks get the most oily, but only right here. Next, I'm just gonna take a fluffier brush. This is from Ulta Beauty. It doesn't have a name. And same thing, I'm just gonna pat in a teeny tiny bit amount around the rest of my face. Okay, now that my whole face is set, I'm taking this angled brush and I'm gonna go in with, well, it's new to me, the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed. I haven't tried out this bronzer, so we're gonna be trying it out together today. Which is a risky chance. Tap off some of the excess. And then with my bronzer, since I don't contour that much anymore, I'm using the bronzer to kind of sculpt and define the areas of my face. Getting the areas that would see the most sun. And just like that, I now have a forehead instead of a 5-head. Doing the same on the other side. So I'm starting where my cheekbones begin. If you can see it, it's the line where your ear lines up with your cheek. And starting there and blending towards the center of my cheek. You can see the hollows of my cheekbones. I'm also adding some there just to add some dimension, but you want to blend it upwards instead of downwards because you want to lift your face, you don't want to drag it down. So by placing the bronzer a little bit higher, I'm lifting my face, diminishing any wrinkles I may have, and defining places of my face where I'd like to define. You need to calm down again. Putting it on my jawline because I don't want to look like I've got 5 chins. And just recently I learned a hack from Michaela on TikTok. She had her makeup done by Mario, I think. And he put bronzer just down the center of her neck because it adds a shadow that diminishes your double chin. It makes everything look a little bit tighter. And then I'm adding bronzer under my lip to make it look slightly bigger. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a smaller brush. Ooh, that is a bad place. I'm gonna take a smaller brush now. It's honestly just an eyeshadow brush. I'm just trying to find one that's not been used, because I need to clean my brushes. Okay, taking that same bronzer, tapping off the excess once again because we don't want it to be patchy. I'm gonna go onto that nose bridge where we brought the eyeshadow before. and blending it above into my eyebrow. I actually like the shape of my nose, so I'm not going to shape it too much, but I do want to add some color back into it so that I don't look like Humpty Dumpty. So I'm adding some bronzer to the bottom of my nose here, to this little line, because I like having a slightly upturned nose.
Oh, the Doritos are in that bag on the table.
If you ever have trouble getting a nice defined line for your nose contour slash bronzer, you can take another makeup brush and center it in your nose. That way the brush falls to the other sides and contours it for you. It does have to be a decently thin brush though. And just like that, our nose contour is done. So I'm gonna set that bronzer aside. We might need it later, you never know. And we're gonna go into a new blush that I just bought because all of my other blushes broke. And it's the Primer Infused blush by e.l.f. in the shade Always Cherry, or Always Cheeky. I don't have my glasses on so I can't see. And I'm just gonna swipe and tap, tap, tap.
Cute.
So blush also adds a lot of dimension to your face, so instead of adding it to the apples of my cheeks, I add it slightly higher up where most people would put their highlighter, which is right onto that cheekbone right here. Since I do have high cheekbones. And once again, this just adds the effect of lifting your face rather than dragging it down.
No.
That one doesn't work. Look, it's
And I'm also gonna add some across my nose. This is a bit of a more peachy toned blush, so it's a little more versatile for multiple skin tones and makeup looks. Looking peachy keen. I think now we're gonna go into the eyebrows, so let me get my eyebrow stuff and I'll be... Okay, I've got a couple new brow products that I've been using lately. I actually just picked these two up yesterday. I've had this one for a while. They're both the same thing, but it's different shades. So the two brow pens are the NYX Lift and Snatch. So they have a nice thin bristle at the end of them that allows you to get a really precise hair looking effect. And then this is the NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil. And this is in the shade Chocolate. It is the wrong color because it was in the wrong section. It was supposed to be the shade Brunette, but we're gonna work with it. We're mostly gonna be using the brow pens anyways, and they are in the shade Ash Brown and Brunette. So first, I'm gonna spoolie through my eyebrows just to clear off some of the excess. That just clears away some of the foundation and stuff that I have on my eyebrows. So now, as you can see, it's very thin. So I'm starting at the, if you line it up with your nose, you start it right here. And just doing small strokes to start kind of forming the brow where I want it. My eyebrows are never right, but they try. So now I've got the general shape of the eyebrow where I want it. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, now that they're outlined and looking like trash, I'm going to spoolie over the edges just to soften things up a bit, but leaving that general shape so that I know where to place my eyebrows. I do have naturally very thick eyebrows, but I get a wild hair up my butt every now and again and shave them off. So they're still growing back. As we can tell, my right eyebrow is a lot thicker than my left eyebrow. Don't know why, they're always naturally bald. And then first I'm going in with the eyebrow pen in the shade Brunette. So having 2 different eyebrow shades, or in this case 3, it adds more dimension and makes the hairs look more realistic. And I'm just using a flicking motion to mimic the shape of hair. And I'm flicking it along the eyebrows so that it blends in more naturally. I've been enjoying a fluffy brow lately, so that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm basically just adding it to the places where my eyebrows are a little more bald and giving them a more shapely appearance. Because they were unsightly until this. Since my left eyebrow is more bald, it does take more product to get it looking normal. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the other shade, which is ash brown, and I'm gonna add more dimension. With fluffy brows, you don't want them to look flat. You want them to be multi-dimensional because you want it to look like your natural brow hairs, which I obviously do not have. So by using 2 different shades, it just adds that extra element of realness. Since the eyebrow pencil that we used was in the shade chocolate, it is adding a little bit of orange tint to the left eyebrow. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna spoolie out that edge just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back in with the pens and fix that. That's as good as we're probably gonna get the brows, to be completely honest. They aren't my forte. So I had to basically finish my makeup because apparently we're going to dinner with my parents. So here's the look. Very golden, very green. I just added a quick winged liner and some mascara onto it, and that's pretty much all I added besides highlighter. So this is the Ofra highlighter, don't know the name of it. And then this is the Maybelline Sky High mascara and the e.l.f. waterproof H20 eyeliner. I didn't add lipstick just because we're gonna be eating, so this is the look. We'll come back within a couple of hours and we'll finish the vlog at my sister's house. You guys will probably see some Just Dance dancing or something, so we're back home now. I'm just gonna get ready for bed and then gotta wake up early tomorrow, so thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Let me know what you want to see.